After a long period of rumors, Kawasaki has now unveiled the new ZX-4RR KRT edition for the Asian and American markets. 3 versions of the ZX-4R will be released and the bike will also be available on the European market. However, it will be some time before the models will be at the dealers. On the American market, the introduction is planned for fall. For Europe, it will be presented only in the fall as a 2024 model.
Engine and performance data of the ZX-4R.
An all-new, liquid-cooled 399cc inline 4-stroke engine provides propulsion. Feedback from the Ninja Supersport machines is said to have gone into the development here, enabling direct throttle response, strong low and mid-range torque for city riding and top-end power for track use. The DO-HC inline 4 with 16 valves has 399cc through a bore and stroke of 57.0 by 39.16 mm. Maximum power is reported at 77 horsepower and 42 Nm. It is not yet known at what RPM these values are reached. However, the red zone is supposed to start at 15,000 revolutions per minute. With ram air, even 80 horsepower should be possible. The control unit is very similar to that from the ZH2 and allows the use of the latest electronics. The electronic throttle bodies are 34 mm in size and are said to provide smooth and natural throttle response.
Chassis and suspension.
The ZX-4R is based on the ZX-25R, but it is only available in Asia and New Zealand. The chassis of the Ninja ZX-4R, SE and RR is made of steel tubing for optimum weight distribution, high rigidity and sufficient flexibility. The engine was integrated into the frame as a load-bearing element. The caster angle was based on the ZX-10RR from the World Superbike. The swing arm was made of steel and has an adjustment by which the weight distribution between front and rear wheel can be influenced to adjust the handling and ride. Suspension. The ZX-4RR is equipped with a Showa 37mm upside-down fork with separate function, Showa SFF BP. The fork is similar to the one on the ZX-6R, but the spring rate and damping characteristics were developed specifically for the KRT edition. This is the first use of an adjustable SFF BP in the 400cc class. The fork is adjustable in the spring preload. At the rear works a Showa BFRC, balance-free rear cushion, shock similar to the example from the ZX-10R and also tuned specifically for the ZX-4RR. The shock can be adjusted for compression, rebound and spring preload. Brakes. The two 290mm brake discs at the front are semi-floating. The RR is also equipped with radially mounted 4-piston monoblock calipers. At the rear, the single 220mm disc is captured by a single piston caliper. The ABS is from Nissan, said to be the lightest ABS unit on the market. Wheels. The wheels have a 5-spoke design and were covered with 120/70 ZR17 front and 160/60 ZR17 rear tires.
Equipment of the ZX-4RR KRT edition.
The engine's power is transmitted to the rear wheel via a 6-speed transmission. When shifting through the gears, the Kawasaki quick shifter assists when shifting up and down. Of course, a slipper clutch is not to be missed. The traction control can be regulated in 3 stages. Optionally, it can also be completely deactivated. There are 2 modes for the engine's power. In addition to full power, a limited maximum power and a milder throttle response can also be set. This is then combined via 3 different pre-configured and a freely configurable riding mode. The settings can be made via the fully digital 4.3-inch, 10.92 cm, TFT color instrument. In addition, it is equipped with a circuit mode, which can be used to measure lap times on the racetrack. Otherwise, there is a digital speedometer, digital bar tachometer, gear indicator, shift indicator by flashing tachometer, fuel gauge, odometer, 2 trip meters, current and average fuel consumption, remaining range, average speed, trip time, coolant temperature, clock, smartphone connectivity and more. Brake and clutch levers are adjustable in 5 positions. The weight of the Kawasaki ZX-4RR KRT edition is specified fully fueled with 188 kilograms.
Optional accessories.
Kawasaki will offer various optional accessories for the ZX-4RR, including a sport seat, USB outlet, pillion seat cover, frame protectors, fuel tank pads, radiator cover and more.
Difference of the Kawasaki ZX-4R, ZX-4RR, and ZX-4RR SA.
In the media here are the wildest rumors about the equipment of the different models. Partly there is talk that the traction control will be adjustable up to 9 times, the suspension will not be adjustable, or that the ZX-4R will have only a single brake disc at the front. There is no reliable information on this yet, and Kawasaki has not confirmed anything specific here either. However, the ZX-4RR KRT edition that has now been presented is supposed to be the top model, so it can be assumed that the other models will be launched on the market somewhat slimmed down. Presumably, you have to do without the quickshifter and the traction control.